Hello again. Once again, if I'm being too loud, please just let me know. Hi. I don't really have my. I'm traveling at the moment, so I don't really have my equipment with me altogether. But welcome back to another episode of Who's Code Again. I'm Abin. We have Akshay and Dodds in the house.
That's
Sid can't
okay.
make it today because he's a bit unwell. So it's only going to be us three for the next hour or so. And a lot has happened. I think we haven't really had the chance to get together and discuss what's been happening in the world of football over the last 2 weeks, because just generally schedules have been all over the place as per usual. So I just today we finally managed to like scramble an hour together. So here we are, coming back in with that review and preview. Guys, can you say something? It's so awkward just being
What's
like,
up?
thanks.
I didn't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
thought
know
you
you're.
stopped talking.
Yeah, you're still
Yeah.
gonna continue because you're like, and then I was like,
We have a friend who loves to make fun of awkward silences using a flag. So I think that's probably what we should do the next time. If
yeah,
the
the
moment gets
awkward
too
flag.
awkward, yeah,
Yeah.
put the awkward flag up. That boy has been on something this week. We've had a lot of fun things from him. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's get into the football. I think it's only right that we begin, given that how we started the season and how much grief we've been giving them. I think it's only right we start this week's episode with our most favorite segment of the show so far. Oh, it started off as a joke, but somehow now Arsenal are very much Champions League contenders. I mean,
Yeah,
for the
they
qualifying.
memed their way up in life,
Yeah.
literally.
They're slowly creeping back to their sweet spot on the Premier League table.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
they
Yeah.
just look. They look. You know what? Funnily enough, out of the three teams competing for that top four spot, that fourth spot, they looked the most settled. Maybe that one game a week thing is helping. They have 3 games in the next 6 days, so I don't know how that's going to unfold. But generally, like there's a good mood around the stadium. Fans are happy. Ranveer Singh is there doing random things.
Ranveer
My
Singh thing.
favorite,
Yeah.
my favorite part. So Ranveer, for those of you who don't know, and Ranveer Singh, who's a very famous Bollywood actor, showed up on AFTV and gave an interview. And the comment section with the people who didn't know who he was were like, "Oh, this guy is so much energy. Can we please have him back on again for for next week's games?" And then you can see all the Indians commenting below, going, "Bro, I'm not quite sure you understand how much this guy would charge for a recurring fee." Like, he's huge, and like, I mean, we've obviously, for us Indians and generally people who are well versed with Bollywood, he's top three actors in the industry at the moment. So to see him randomly pop up on AFTV was quite funny.
Yeah, it was quite a
And
fun sight to watch.
yeah, but Arsenal, I mean, Ranveer Singh aside, Arsenal doing Arsenal things in a good way. They look
Yeah,
resolute.
actually. Yeah. Quite
Lacazette
good.
is really dragging that team forward. That midfield three of
The
Partey,
youngsters. Yeah.
yes, the youngsters
The
are,
youngsters are killing it. Yeah.
yeah. Like, actually, have you been watching any of the Arsenal games? Because I know you
I
follow it.
actually haven't. I actually
You,
haven't because I have to get the clean sheet in my points from Ramsdale. But and speaking of Ramsdale as well, I think he's one of the top uh, goalkeepers in the league right now.
probably, I mean, barring your Allisons and Edisons, I think he's
Yeah,
he's a strong contender for goalkeeper of the season, because he's had an amazing season, if we're being perfectly
and it's
honest.
been a transformation for him from relegation to where he is right now. It's like a really great jump that he's had in his career.
It's Yeah, and I find that like that's the one thing that really surprised me, and then I'll hold my hands up and admit I was wrong. Because when you saw him at Sheffield United, you saw somebody, and at Bournemouth as well before that,
Hmm.
he looked like a guy who could be easily beaten. Like, his flaws were
Yeah,
there, and but he seems to have ironed them all out. And I don't know how much of that is down to him, or how much of it is down to the Arsenal goalkeeping coach. But generally, like, props to everyone involved, including himself, because he's somehow managed to pull himself out of that
yeah.
uh, of that rut that he was in, and now he's probably competing up there with the best goalkeepers in the league. There was a save in yesterday's game from point blank which he made, which I was like, wow, okay, shit.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
for me, that was the point that like I have maintained my um what do you call? I've not been very um, convinced by him, but that save yesterday was got me off on that track. I was like, you know what, this kid's got something about him, and if Arsenal can keep that defense in front of him tight, um, only good things to come.
yeah. And it's
Yeah.
not only yesterday's game that has had some great saves. Past games as well. I think most of the games that they've either won or like had a goalless draws because of him.
But I mean, of course, goalkeeper was good, but I think even Mr. Odegaard
Oh
deserves
yeah.
like great mention, dude. Like, I remember us making fun of Arsenal for getting him for 30 million at the beginning of the season,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
now it's almost like how Madrid got Tony Cruz for 30 million, and everyone's like, dude, they got
And Luka
Tony
Modric
Cruz
for
for 30 million.
35.
Yeah, 35, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, this
yeah,
could be their Arsenal's moment of a cruise moment, basically, right? If he continues this kind of form, this guy's absolutely insane, dude. Like
yeah.
watching the game yesterday, is
Really
like
is.
his running play, his running rings around everybody is great, great signing.
And also the really hilarious thing is that getting Joe Willock for selling Joe Willock for 25 million to Newcastle and replacing him with Odegaard for 30 million.
For pretty much 5 million. Yeah,
Yeah, like
Yeah, five
for
million.
pocket change is what they've got him for, and looks like finally he's had a bit of a stop start season, and I don't blame him entirely. The team is very young. I've still maintained that to the end of the season, they might not sustain this run because not because the team is bad by any stretch of the imagination. I think they're very good. Uh, there's a bit of inconsistency that could creep in given the pile up that they're about to face. And with Arsenal, it's very much a confidence based team. I really like this team, and I say this as a United fan, and I absolutely detest Arsenal. I should, but they have a very exciting young team coming through, especially with Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, Emil Smith Rowe. And if you sprinkle that with with a striker who is an absolute goal threat, somebody who lives for balls in the box, at 6 yard poacher, they're going to be a real problem next season. I think that it really depends on the recruitment strategy. It's a slow recruitment strategy. I think a lot of the Arsenal fans who are Arteta out have been turned, but they're on their way back up. And so but the next step is very important because we as United fans have seen
yeah,
that next step being going really wrong because we filled the team with talent that we thought would take us to that next step, and who are good. And but just when they needed the right additions, it didn't happen for some reason or the other. So it's important Arsenal avoid that mistake and recruit correctly in the summer.
yeah. They don't have a
Uh,
good squad rotation, to be honest. They have a
they
few players as a backup, like to rotate their squad, but I don't think that's enough to pull them through in the long term.
I mean, it'll be enough to get them fourth place and Champions League. And once they start playing Champions League football,
Exactly. Yeah, for
then
the
they can start
next year.
attracting talent
True.
like that
True.
wants to play Champions League football, right? And that's going to be the biggest jump. Like, dude, Arsenal need to come fourth again so that the universe can send right. Like, Arambe gets
Yeah.
unshot, Trump doesn't win. All of that
we don't have
happens
a
because
pandemic.
Arsenal.
We
Yeah.
Yeah, we
don't have
don't
a
have a
That
pandemic.
gets
pandemic.
reversed. Yeah.
Yes, ever since Arsenal stopped coming fourth, the world's been a little shit. Okay, so
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my God. Now that you think about it, yeah, ever since Arsenal stopped getting fourth, I feel like, yeah, there's been an imbalance to the
There's
world.
been a lot of
yeah,
things that have happened.
It's
Yeah.
been a
yeah.
very, very frustrating time. But I think we've given enough flowers to Arsenal, and also for whoever decided to link Brendan Rodgers to the United job, proof, meat pudding. So Leicester seem to be having a stop-start season. They just have been plagued by injuries throughout. I don't know.
You don't have the bench strength, man.
They don't
Yeah,
really,
they don't.
and
They don't.
they need a Jamie Vardy replacement bad. Like the Jamie
Yeah.
Vardy the shit house is not working because he's just old and now he's injured. And as many Red Bulls as the man drinks before a match, it's just not working out for him.
Yeah. But speaking of
Yeah.
injuries, there have been a lot of injuries this past weekend. We'll get to them when we talk about the FPL side of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into United. And let's talk about the big game. So I just didn't get train tickets this weekend, and the buses were all full. This is a horrible problem. I'm in the country, and
Yeah.
I wish I could really go watch it. But there's so many tickets flying around at face value too, which is wonderful.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so yeah, for like £50, some even 30, 35.
hey,
So
that's crazy. Yeah.
yeah, so it's just you just have to hunt, and you have to this thing. And I'll talk about. And I got very lucky earlier on in the week. I mean, once again, I feel I would have followed Spurs home and away if I had managed to catch the United game. I did manage to watch Spurs at Everton and Spurs, and a really nice gentleman hooked me up with the ticket, and it was very strange being in the Tottenham home end because it was funny. It wasn't a team, obviously, I support, but I mean, I have admiration for because the fan base is so passionate. And before we get to the United game, I wanted to briefly highlight the Everton game and what happened there. Getting to the stadium is, especially if you live further down, is a nightmare. The underground system is very confusing, but eventually I got there. And more than the Everton team, like all the stick was being aimed at Frank Lampard. Lampard was getting so much abuse, and like at one point, the Spurs fans even started singing Lampard's "Going Down" to the tune of "It's Coming Home." So it was it was pretty hilarious, and you realize just how how up close and personal you get with these players. Like Harry Kane is a mountain of a man, dude. And I had the chance to see
Yeah.
him, and his goal comes like the goal he
Yeah,
scores
yeah.
is he gets the ball right near the end I was sitting. And he runs to the corner flag, and I'm just like, oh my god, this guy is huge, and he's obviously like built. And the way Spurs were cutting Everton open in that game, I couldn't tell if Everton were bad or Spurs were just that good. And then on comes the weekend, and I think that gives you a definitive answer as to who was what. Everton are just terrible. They're a misfit team at this point. They're not really like gelling, and very likely going to go down, which is insane. Great for the other teams because I feel you can cherry pick people out of that squad for cutthroat prices. But Spurs, in the meantime, go to Old Trafford and somehow reawaken a 37-year-old beast. Like, he was so good that Tom Brady in the stands unretired after the game.
Exactly.
Like, Tom Brady saw Ronaldo see 3 times and thought, you know what, screw this. I don't want to spend time with my children. I'm going back to Tampa for one more season. Let's go.
Yeah, the very next day, basically today or yesterday, he announced that he's getting back with the team. But speaking of age being a number, or just like a number, over the past weekend, even Lewandowski and Benzema scored hat-tricks. And they're also upwards of 35, 36 years old, right?
Benzema is 34. Lewandowski also thinks about 30, 33, 34. But let's talk about the United game for a hot minute.
By the way, United have been linked to Lewandowski. Who's
3 years ago, I would have been on this. Lewandowski, and no, more than anything else.
basically what I've realized is that United are like, who is above 35 right now? Let him
Who can
be
sell
our striker.
shirts?
No,
Basically.
who is above 35, dude? Like if it's Ibrahimovic or Cavani or Ronaldo, it's basically who is senior citizen in football. Let me go sign that guy.
Hey, but they're coming through for us, you know.
United have now been I'll get to who another player United have been linked with. Another player I absolutely don't want to go near, and we'll have a discussion about it. But that first Ronaldo goal. Wow. I was like, I
Geez,
was
that
like,
was insane.
is this Porto 2009 all over again? Because I remember watching the Porto game all those years ago and thinking, just don't shoot. This guy's been shooting from everywhere. Just don't shoot and then go and literally going, don't shoot. Oh my goodness! And then very similar feelings resurfaced when I saw that goal against Spurs on the weekend. But in typical United fashion, like we had to give it up. And I think nobody puts this
Yeah.
better than alternative MUFC, which is this speech to text comms that happens on Twitter. It's a great account. You should go follow it. Uh, he calls Alex Telles the Love Island Latino. He calls Fred Pastor Fred. Like throughout the comms, all he keeps saying is, "Who the fuck is this guy? And what have you done with our pastor?" Because Fred was on fire in that game.
Yeah, he actually
Yeah,
had a
I
really
was
good game.
I was looking at Fred's stats, and it's like some 27 clearances, 5 tackles, something. It's like, dude, this looks like some Iniesta level, some game he had. Like, it's just insane, right? And
As long as he's
it,
not in our half, he's fine. If he's in the opposition half, we're good. Like we'll get amazing
Yeah,
Fred.
yeah.
you know what the conspiracy theory on the MUFC subreddit is? It's that
What?
you didn't play Bruno, and you played Pogba, and you played Fred as like a not a 10,
Number
like
eight.
an 8,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, number 8.
And this is the reason why United win, and all that shit. Um, but in my opinion, it was just Ronaldo vibes FC all over again.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I think United was
Yeah.
shit.
I
As
think
per
United were
usual.
having a shit game, okay, and somehow if Spurs had equalized, it would have been the worst hat trick, or if they had even won, it would have been like
It would have
bad,
been
right?
Spain,
I don't
Portugal
think
all over again.
I don't think any
Yeah,
team is capable of beating United more than United are capable of beating United. I think that's just
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's pretty straightforward as to how this is, because Alex Telles is brain dead moment handball. Maguire, I mean, he's had a decent game, but he had that one brain fart, and I feel it is a challenge he had to make. But this was also pointed out that before the line sets, he gets flat-footed, which kind of puts him in that position. So the mistake happens before. You can't really blame him for the own goal, but that own goal is my favorite moment of the entire game, because what happens, and a lot of Spurs fans talk about this as well. The moment the own goal
yeah,
goes in, Christian
Yeah.
Romero turns around
looks
and
at it.
yells at Maguire. And
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
Spurs fans on Twitter were like, that was the moment we knew we were going to lose this game. Because it's the most Spursy thing that could possibly happen, right? So in comes Christian Romero. And it's because for the corner, United are notoriously bad at corners. 250 corners we've taken this season, and we scored 2. So
And two,
you look
and
back at
one
the
of them is
corner.
very important.
Yeah. And you look back at the goal, and you see Christian Romero completely lose Ronaldo. The man has a free header into the box, and obviously, like rocket header, Hugo Lloris no chance, and United see the game out. It makes for a very interesting top 4 run. I honestly thought they would lose to Spurs. I was expecting a thulping at Liverpool next week before that game got postponed. So
Yeah, why did they postpone?
I think Liverpool have the FA Cup fixtures is what.
Oh,
So that's why a lot, even from an FPL perspective, there's a lot of
yeah,
blanks.
there's a lot of blanks. Well, I think only 6 teams are playing or something.
Yeah, only 6 teams, and there's no point like breaking your head over for those 6 teams. But yeah, United seem to be going back and forth. They were, of course, at the Manchester derby a week prior to that. Very good first half. I mean, rather reasonable first half. Absolute clowns
Completely
at
outplayed,
ball defending, and in the second half, it was just. It was embarrassing to watch. It's like playing a guy on FIFA who just refuses to give the ball back to you.
Basically, yeah.
The main thing here is like, of course, like last week, Ronaldo went off to Portugal because of whatever. Like Eddie Howe told him, "You're not going to be playing this game, starting this game." So he comes back with the bench. Sorry, not Eddie Howe. Ragnick, right? I was thinking about Eddie Howe for something else. Ragnick, right? Ragnick tells him that this week he comes back with a vengeance and scores a hat trick. But will he have consistency? is the main thing, right? Will he score
He's
like this every
37
game?
years old. So to put all the goals, I mean, he thrives on pressure, but he's 37 years old.
Yeah,
Stop trying to make.
but like,
But
okay,
he
now
is
he
a top
scored.
scorer.
Yeah, okay, he's a top scorer, right? But now that puts
I
so much
don't.
pressure on
Yeah.
the manager that
Hmm.
the manager doesn't have control of his dressing room, dude, at all, right?
Oh, no, no.
So
Yeah,
like
of course, completely.
he's fully
But
lost it, and so tomorrow if he wants to drop Ronaldo, he doesn't know if he can or what the
but
outburst will be from Ronaldo.
what's
But
about
he
to
can.
happen though. It's not that now he may not have control of the dressing room, but in 3 months he goes up, and that's where he has control of contracts. And the funny thing with Ralph Ragnick is, I thought nobody hated the United team more than I did, like genuinely this United team. But turns out Ragnick does. Ragnick hates them. You can tell them he absolutely hates every single one of them. And when he goes up, people should start getting scared because some people are getting
They
thrown
don't
out the
play like
door.
a team, right? Like
Yeah,
there's so many leaks every day from the United camp. Oh, he said this, she said this, like a bunch of Sheilas, dude. Like,
yeah, exactly.
what the hell is happening there?
There's really no reason as to
Like,
why.
dude, like Ronaldo gets taken off, or like someone else gets taken off, or something. They're all pissed off, but they're not happy, or they're not congratulating the guy who's going on. Like, mate, like go have a good game. Like that shit's not coming, and that's not good for a team atmosphere. It's not good
Yeah.
for team spirit.
There are
Team morale.
cliques
Yeah.
forming, like each one has their own clique, and it's just, and people are being undermined by Ronaldo. I'm like, yeah, fuck off, come on, it's Cristiano Ronaldo, probably the best player in the world, and the most league-proof player in the world, and I will get to exactly why. So listen to what he says. He knows what he's doing. Yes, of course, Ronaldo is also a bit of a diva, throws his toys out of the pram. He kind of needs to be, he's had that mentality for a while, but there are, it now comes down to a balance. I think Ronaldo also needs to understand that as good as he is, he can't pull that 10 out of 10 performance he put against Spurs every single week.
Yeah.
And
He's not been doing it, right? He scored
yeah,
after
no,
seven
not at all.
games.
Exactly. Like he's
Yeah,
not
he's
like
had.
you've seen,
Yeah.
and
So,
he scored like, as some call it, the Ronaldo package: one banger, one tap in, one header.
One header.
So yeah, so it's like you have,
All of his. Yeah.
yeah, like this, he played his greatest hits in one game, and
Yeah.
it's exciting and it's good because it literally comes 2 days before United play Atletico in the Champions League, and
and it's
he's
also big against Spurs, dude. Like Spurs are like at this moment a one-trick pony. Like Conte's just got, I don't know how that. Okay, Dorothy is like becomes a magician out of nowhere or something. He's like
yeah.
tracking up and like he's doing some shit, and that's their only trick. That's it. They don't have anything else. Okay, and they're
Kulusevski
not.
also I think
I
is
don't know
pretty
how
good.
this team. Sorry.
Kulusevski, I think the
Yeah,
buy from
he's quite good. Yeah.
Kulusevski is good. Son is having a very hot and cold season, and it kind of disappears in the big games.
Everyone,
Uh,
even Kane.
Kane
Kane
scored
also like
yesterday.
He scored, but it was penalty.
penalty. Like what? Like.
It doesn't really count to his form or anything, right?
So the good thing United did yesterday was that they made sure Kane doesn't get the ball at all. Like every time, this is the good thing about English defenders like Maguire. Like, they're that typical Millwall mentality, dude. Okay, bro, mark that guy. They'll go mark that guy. They'll go belt him, go slide into him. Like I went and watched a Leeds game in the Championship against Norwich at that
Villa.
time or something.
Okay, huh?
Or something like, dude, defenders are just sliding, slipping, belting each other, basically like full on fighting championship, right? And that's how
Huh.
English defenders are. They're not like Spanish or Thiago Silva or like that. They're just like one single blockhead, Phil James type, like whatever, right? And like it's just they have no head, but you give them one job to do, they'll do it damn well.
Yeah.
That's it.
But I guess
And
Maguire knows how Kane is once he gets the ball, and that's why he sort
yeah,
of
you
had
give
to.
Kane space on the ball with runners on either side
It's
of him.
over. The game's
It's
over.
over because he's as Tom Brady's as they come in terms of like spreading play. And yeah, Tom Brady going, that was very weird. Tom Brady's like, I'm rooting for United win, even though Harry Kane is my boy or something. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
He said, "I'm gonna clap if you score, but I think you're gonna lose."
Uh, and, but you just know, like, I mean, I found that's my biggest takeaway. Ronaldo hat trick, all that happened is Tom Brady went to watch a game saw the adulation a 37-year-old got and said, "Fuck it, Psycho Tom is back," and now he's going to go back to the Bucks, and I don't know what's going to happen this season. But yeah, I mean, United very firmly in the driver's seat in the Champions League as well. I don't think Atletico have quite a few players out, so expect a really nasty game over the next few
It's
days.
also like Ronaldo's favorite fixture, dude. Like, I think like everything else he scores, but I think against Atletico, it's personal. It's always personal for him.
That's always been
I feel
personal.
like as he's training today, he's put Diego Simeone's posters everywhere across his house, going,
Yeah.
"Fine, I'm fucking coming for you, ass."
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
don't know, yeah. So, but speaking of the Champions League, I think it's a great segue into the Champions League.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about other Prem fixtures first, or do we jump into the Champions League straight away?
Yeah, we could do. Let's do the Champions League anyway. We segue. It is a great segue G3. Let's go.
No. Okay. But anyway, here we go. PSG Madrid. How?
Yeah, what did you think of that game?
I found it very funny. I found it really. In all honesty, I stopped watching once Mbappe scored.
I watched the first half.
Mm.
Yeah, I watched the first half and it's like, dude, there's no way Madrid were getting outplayed. Like the PSG team was just pressing them, and they looked like a lower level, lower league like Prem team, like just parking the bus and just inviting pressure. Something they switched on in the second half.
The second half, Ancelotti just tactically switched it around. I think his
Those
pressing traps.
substitutions, yeah, every single substitution he made, like not one of them was not impactful. Like every single one of them, like Kamavinga, like all of them came in and changed the game completely. Like
So
and Benzema doing Benzema things.
yeah, exactly. So if you've played FIFA long enough, generally, there's something that's very popular in the game called a kickoff glitch, by which you, if you score, or generally from kickoff, there's a high probability of you scoring because the game just favors that for some bullshit reason.
That's me.
And you think, and we always kept saying, "Oh, this is very unreasonable. This is really unreasonable. This never really happens in the game." And then in comes PSG to prove us entirely wrong, because you've scored, like, the game's level, and from kickoff, you've conceded another.
Yeah. That's kind of hilarious.
And
I mean,
the
those 16 minutes, it took 16 minutes for 3 goals. That's it.
yeah.
Like 16 minutes of bad football. Like,
And Luka Modric in that second half, he was voted as the worst Real Madrid player signed 10 years ago. Whoever made that vote needs to go hit themselves. That second goal that he sets up Benzema for.
Yeah.
Sorry? Yeah,
They probably are kicking themselves after yesterday.
That Benzema goal, the second one, the equalizer, he to play that ball, it is insane.
dude, that vision 1 million or something, dude. Dude, first of all, that goal, right? Like, dude, Neymar should be thrown out of that team. Like, first of all, it's Modric, who even prime Modric was not pace. Okay.
Yeah.
And now it's a 37-year-old Modric. Has taken the ball off 30-year-old Neymar. Okay. Neymar has not gotten up and tracked back. He's a half, okay, cameras are showing, he's trying to run behind. He's not able to catch up with Modric.
You know what?
I guess that's why he was getting booed over the weekend.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
it's
okay,
not just him.
Yeah.
I mean, him
Not
and
just
Messi
him.
only, right?
Yeah. Like,
But
you've
Messi,
got.
you can understand he's a little old now, so track back may not be that high, or they don't expect him. But
Even in
Neymar
Barca,
should be
I feel
tracking back.
like for the last 5 years, he hasn't really tracked back. Even if you go like, dude, look at the 8-2, for example, a few years ago. He doesn't track back. I think one of those. I think that the sixth goal is entirely his fault, because he gives the ball loose, doesn't track back, and then it opens Bayern up to score. So he's not the kind of player who tracks back. So every team, and if you notice this, they will feel like we've spoken about this on previous episodes. Every team right now in Europe, at least, um, has 8 players who are just pure working, like running up and down that pitch.
Workhorse, yeah.
Yeah.
Workhorses, exactly. And you can't carry more than 2 players in a game who don't track back, because I think that's the luxury at this
Yeah.
point. To have
Yeah.
3 of them in one team, which is Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi, as good as they all are, let's be honest, they're all phenomenal players. You've got
Individually,
yeah,
especially.
individually.
Yeah.
If you get outnumbered in midfield and your front three are not tracking back to help, what use are they? They should, for them to get the ball to even like make an impact. Uh, you need to have the ball at their feet. It's not happening. And PSG as a team should not exist in like the way the model they're currently following, where it's fantasy. It works on FIFA. It works because if you turn on a FIFA game, the chances of you playing a PSG team are 96%, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry is playing with PSG because the team is riddled with stars. But it doesn't translate onto a football pitch, and I think Pochettino is about to face the axe for it. The management team at PSG are been absolutely horrible people as well. There have been reports that Nasser Al Khelaifi, who is the CEO, went and assaulted some of the referees, allegedly.
No, he didn't
And
assault, but he kicked down the door of
the door.
the referee, and he started abusing them. And then
Insane.
there was this one intern, apparently Real Madrid intern, who went with his phone camera, and he's like, sir, how do you feel? Tell me, yeah, tell me, yeah, tell me. Apparently, he told him, I'll kill you. Okay, of course. After that's 1 hour of like irritating the hell out of him. He point blank told him, I'll kill you, and now Real Madrid is launching an investigation against him.
They actually called the police as well, because there were people, they were screaming in the dressing room,
Yeah.
and it's not. And
Yeah,
so this is,
Neymar and the goalkeeper, Donnarumma, they had a
yeah.
fight in the
Yeah,
dressing
they
room.
also had a fight with each other.
I mean,
Yeah.
Neymar is one to talk, dude. I mean, this is not the first time. He hasn't shown up for his team in the Champions League since that 6-1 against PSG when he was at Barcelona. So, like, less said about him, the better. And
Dude,
and
like
it
the
seems,
main thing is the manager. Like, dude, if even if like Messi wasn't having a great game, Mbappe was having a decent game, Neymar was just not doing shit. Okay, you take off Neymar, you put on Di Maria, you get work rate, you get
Game
track
will
back,
change.
you get pace,
Yeah.
you get everything. But no one has the balls to do it because of the ego clash. Like
it's
that's
just.
just the biggest problem.
And I feel Pochettino is about to get it, and
I think he'll
Spurs
be
fans all
happy.
want him back. And yeah, let him. Honestly, if he gets sacked, I'm happy that he gets sacked. But please keep him away from United. I don't want one more guy to come here and not be able to manage egos. It's
Yeah,
going to be a
they should learn
nightmare.
something from PSG.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think right now it's very much Eric Ten Hag because I feel he's a lot of the reports are saying it's him, and I can't wait for us to ruin him as well. So let's just see where this goes. But yeah, I mean, and the other results, Bayern absolutely walloped Salzburg 7-1. Lewandowski scoring a hat-trick there. 2 penalties
Yeah.
and 1 goal is what I think happened
Yeah,
there.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Let's quickly talk about Chelsea Newcastle and basically the circus that's been following Chelsea over the last week. Now, there's a penalty decision in that game. Is that a penalty or not?
Yeah, that's a penalty. It's 100% a
I
penalty.
didn't
That's some
watch the game, so
war
no
bullshit.
comments here.
That
No,
was
that was 100% a penalty. Like, but
Who was the
VAR doing
penalty?
VAR things.
Who was the penalty supposed to be given against?
for
And
Newcastle.
wasn't? Oh.
So this and that when the game was at 0-0, and basically Newcastle have been very good for the last 8 or 9 games, and that really
Unbeaten.
was that was really a decision that could go in their favor, that didn't go in their favor, that should have. And you come on and in the second half, as Chalobah, funnily enough, the guy who was supposed to give the pen away, what a ball, what control by Havertz, what a goal. 89th minute, clutch player, especially with what's been happening with the circus around it. Now, I'm not quite sure where the Chelsea fans are regarding the stance, because yeah. Okay, if you don't know, and if the club was seized, they were not allowed to sell. The club shops were closed. They had a maximum budget of 20,000 for travel, and it's it's been a clusterfuck. But I think ever since yes, the early hours of yesterday morning, the club has been allowed to go back on sale, and within 4 to 6 weeks, they're looking to finalize a buyer.
Yeah.
So in a bit to freeze out Roman Abramovich, there's been a lot of Chelsea fans have been pissed off about what's been happening, and it's also like it was a very weird day in football because one, we know the shitstorm that's been unfolding, and you have another team that comes into town where the state has executed 81 officials, so 81 people, in making it the biggest mass execution ever. And I think Eddie Howe was asked this
Yeah, he was asked by
in the
president.
second half, and he said, "I'm going to stick to football," which is a bit of a cowardly answer. Yes, I can see why he said that, but this, when you're in a situation where you're employed by a geo state, it's no longer stick to football. Stick to football is political. Like, let's be perfectly honest. But football has had tinges of politics, of religion for generations. If you go back and look at so much, even the old firm derby basically came out of religion, right? So it's never just been a sport. And it saddened me with the whole Chelsea situation because yes, Roman Abramovich has brought you wealth, but call a spade a spade.
No, agreed. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, so when I was like 8 or 9 or 10, I became a Chelsea fan, right? Back then, I didn't know about sport washing or Russian oligarch politics or any of that. I just saw something that was not United, belting United, and I was like, yes, that's the shit I need. Okay, because everyone at school that was who was a United fan was a prick, was an absolute
Uh,
prick. So then, yeah, so that spurred me on a lot. Other than that, they played good football and all that jazz anyway, right?
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, like it's a wartime. There have to be sanctions. Sanctions are the right thing to do. You got to freeze out every other oligarch and everyone that supports Putin. It is the right thing to do. The only thing, the bad thing, or it sucks, is that the Chelsea players or the people working in the club, they are nice people and they've got nothing to do with this whole
Yeah.
whatever's happening.
Yeah,
But they're going
exactly.
to feel
Yeah.
the effects of it. But that's how it works, right? It's like when you put sanctions against Russia, the Russian people are going to suffer, but you have to put sanctions.
Yeah.
That only then will the pressure build, and only then will it work, right?
The thing is, when you know who your owner is and you know what, I mean, it's no secret as to what Roman is and like what his influence is, especially in the world. And this is, I feel like even a few years later, it could happen to any of the other petrostate clubs, in my opinion. Very much a possibility. It's almost like a cautionary tale of what not to do.
I mean, I don't know, like, so this is the thing, right? It's hard or stupid to ask managers these questions in a way, because the FA did the Premier League approve that club just 6 months back, the
Yeah, I
sale of
mean,
Newcastle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
it
like
stings
Eddie
of
Howe's like,
hypocrisy.
you guys, yeah, you approved it already, so I'm working in it. This system that you guys approved. Now, what is your problem? Like, how can you come against me and say
I
this
think
and all
Klopp
that?
said it perfectly
Exactly.
well. Klopp was like, when they bought, nobody said anything. I mean, they said, "Oh, Roman injection of cash, sugar daddy." No one brought this up. Now you have an issue with it.
Yeah, and what does the manager have to do? Like, what is he gonna do? Like, he can't change who his owner is.
yeah, no, he can't. But it's also
Yeah, you
between a
can't.
rock and
You
a
can't.
hard place. But I feel he can't go against his employers, and at the same time, he can't like not turn a blind eye to the blatant human right violations that are happening. Uh,
But I think he did that just so that he doesn't have to go through shit for anything that he said, if be it for or against.
it's a very conflicting
Yeah.
time to be a football fan. I think you definitely there is a right and a wrong, but
I mean, dude, so from what I've seen in the UK, right, football is escapism. Football is a place you
it's no
escape
longer
from
escapism, right?
politics. No, it still is, right? I mean, most of the UK, at least when I was in Newcastle, they went to the pub and watched the game to get away from their lives, dude. Whatever's happening at home or at work or whatever, this is it. Like, I just want to watch a football game or chat shit about the game or praise it or whatever, right? It was still very big escapism, right? As I mean, football's become big, but for the average fan, it's still an outlet out of his normal day life or whatever. Even for me, it's a little bit like that. Like, I watch football to just forget or tune out
Tune out the
like
noise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from
true,
life
true.
that time, right? So when you start bringing all of these other things in, it complicates shit for like normal day fans, and they're not like Newcastle never got to choose Mike
Who's
Ashley, and
owners? Yeah.
Mike Ashley screwed them over for like years and years to years together. Of course, they're gonna like that there's a new owner that's gonna do something for the club. That club deserved a lot more. Like, it has the most loyal fan base, even if they've been shit, even when they win a championship, all of that. They've shown up every year, every weekend, like in mass numbers. It's always been sold out. Like, it's got a great history. Now, they are going to be happy there's a new owner coming in that's going to put cash. Now, the morality of the money, that's where things get very complicated. Should I support it? Should I not? Like, every time on Reddit, a Newcastle fan posts something saying, "Hey, yeah, we won" or something. Everyone just runs there and like, yeah, but it's all on tainted oil money and this, that, and all.
Uh,
So
but
it's
I think that's
becoming very
something,
murky now.
yeah, and there's nothing anybody can really do about it, to be
Yeah, there's
honest.
nothing you can
No,
do
it's
about it.
it's a it's a new normal, and I just feel right now there's it's like fans are obviously in that point where just you go from one hell and then you get pulled out into another set of owners who are there for one reason only, and we all know what that reason is. But um, it's that separation is going to be is that line that separates football from the real world is blurring day by day, and you don't know just how if it'll ever it'll ever go back to being clear like that clear form of escapism that match day fans would have seen it to be. I don't think that's the future we're heading towards.
Maybe, yeah. You're right. I mean, to be completely fair, sport washing does work. Like,
Yeah, of
most
course it
Chelsea
does.
fans love Abramovich, dude. Like,
Mm.
he's done everything you can for the club. He brought it to where it is,
Yeah.
and that's why he's got like this name and all the Chelsea fans supporting and chanting for him. It's clear it works. Man City and what they've done in Manchester, like, those guys love because they've done so much for the community around them.
Hmm.
So of course that community going to start loving and supporting uh, whatever Abu Dhabi fund or the sheikhs or whatever,
Hmm.
right? They're going to have a good view of them.
Same
So
for
the
the
sport
Qatari
washing,
owners. Like, yeah,
yeah, it works. Yeah.
like we know the horror stories of the World Cup and what's and what went into first of all acquiring the rights for it,
Yeah.
and then the stadium construction and all that went wrong. But we've been in group chats where people are excited to go to Qatar because it's the first World Cup for us. That's a 4 hour plane away, and
Or any if you planning to go.
I mean
It's
I
the first World Cup that's a little affordable for us. That's
exactly
as
right there. I
simple as
mean
I,
I
that.
don't.
It's
I,
as
I don't,
simple as that. Yeah.
but Qatar, like the Qatar being a Qatari state or country, they're gonna hike up the prices. So
They'll
that
hike
makes
up the
sense.
prices, but even if they do hike up the prices,
And
it's not going
it's
to be
yeah,
See, first of
unaffordable
all,
for.
your flight itself is a little affordable. That starting from there, right?
Yeah.
but
You
I was
can
generally
get a
seeing
little.
the other day
Okay.
that I was like randomly seeing tickets around the group stages and the playoffs. It's insane.
Like,
Just
what are
to
we
reach
looking
there,
at?
it's insane. You won't be able to make a guess.
It's like what, $4,000?
Yeah, around $4,000
round
one way.
trip.
One way.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
from India, which is I find it
from
odd.
India. From India.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Oh,
hotels are also not available. No
yeah,
hotels are
hotels. I
available.
think everything is gone. We need to find like friends. We need people who live in Doha. We can be friends with.
Yeah,
Okay.
anyways.
But yeah, let's just move on. Let's like try and review the games to come this week. So Champions League. Okay, quickly. Atletico United. Who's going through?
United.
I think Atletico go through. It's just narrative wise, it fits everything.
No. I don't think Atletico go through. I think United. I think this game, Ronaldo comes in, does his thing,
I just
scores
feel
his bangers.
for Atletico, they're out. Their team is half of the team is injured. They've had a horrible season,
I
and
think,
Simeone
yeah.
really needs a win. Yeah.
But I think that might come back to haunt them.
But I think it'll one of
Their
those
injuries.
dogged Simeone away performances. I see it happening where he riles up the crowd, like does a whole thing, and it's like Diego Simeone things. I'll be on a plane, so
Being
I'm
himself.
probably going to miss the game. So
Catch it, no?
how my flight's at
So this,
7:50.
so there's
Oh yeah.
apparently breaking news that there's a Saudi media group that have made a $3.5 billion offer to buy Chelsea. Mohammed Al
Ooh.
Kherji is a Chelsea fan and a leading private consortium from a media group in Saudi. No links to royal family. It seems. Okay. So now, if we go from that to the frying pan, I don't know what is the point of all this, dude.
I knew some consortiums would come. There was an Azerbaijani consortium that tried to buy West Ham a few months ago. I'm not quite sure where that ended up going. But yeah, actually, let's just do consortium aside. Let's just preview this week's games in the Prem, and then
And Game Week 30, right?
yeah, there's not much really. There's six
I've
games.
not updated it, unfortunately.
That's okay.
So just go through. I think there are only 4 fixtures to go through.
Six, I think,
So
right?
4,
Sorry.
no? Okay, just give me a few seconds. I'll update the sheet and everything else. I'll just highlight the ones that we have to discuss. Arsenal playing this weekend, yeah. Brentford, Leicester, and games. Spurs. Let me share my screen. And by the way, we have a clear winner of Game Week 28 fixtures.
Who?
Who do you think?
Oh, of course, as per usual.
Yeah.
Just give him the prize. What do you want to tell now? We'll give it to you. We'll just save our misery at this point.
Let's go through the previous, like, there we cannot see it.
I can see it. I just want to know what he did to win again.
He got 13 out of the 40. No, sorry.
No,
What is
he smashed us, not just.
He got 11 out of 11 out of them correct. Or like, yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, there is a side career waiting for you in football management or punditry.
18 points. And the next one of us 11.
Okay. Anyway, actually, let's go into predictions and then we'll wrap this up.
Just four fixtures highlighted.
Wolves Leeds. Oh, Leeds had a crazy 90th minute winner that might just keep them in the Prem. Jaffe Gelhardt scores a wonderful
relegation 6 point. Best way to come out of a relegation 6 point.
Yeah. Well, I think Wolves beat them. I think Wolves are just too resolute and will catch Leeds on the counter. I am going a 2-1 to Leeds.
2-1 to Leeds?
Sorry, to Wolves. To Wolves, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think Wolves win it 2-0. I don't think Leeds would be able to like, beat them.
Yeah, I mean, I think 2-0 Wolves. Excuse me.
Let's see.
That's
Villa Arsenal. Arsenal 2-0. I think they've Villa a bit hot and cold at the moment. I think they have enough in the tank to overcome a strong Villa
that's-
side. I think Arsenal
and
Arsenal again.
Slippy G.
and their star striker, star wing back or left back is injured.
That's true.
He pulled his hamstring during last game.
Lucas
So
Digne.
sort of, yeah. I think Arsenal win this 2-1.
2-1 to the Ars.
Those.
Yeah, I mean, I think 2-1 Arsenal.
Leicester Brentford. I think Brentford win it 1-0.
Oh wait, I'm about to just lost audio for a hot second.
I think Leicester win this like 2-0.
Can you guys hear me? I can't hear anyone.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Abhin, your thoughts on the game?
But I don't know. I cannot hear anybody. Can you guys hear me at all?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just gonna
us?
keep talking because I can't hear anyone for some reason.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
So
We can hear you, but he can't hear
I'm
us.
just gonna go for Leeds, Leicester, Brentford. I think Leicester win this 2-1.
Next game is
Now
Tottenham.
West Ham, Tottenham. I feel West Ham beat them. Tottenham just have a horrible record against West Ham. I think West Ham upset the apple cart here a little bit. 2-1 West Ham.
I think 2-0 West Ham.
2-0 Tottenham.
That wraps up our score prediction. So we'll get Sid to fill it up whenever he can.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Abhin, are you still with us?
Yeah, I am here. I can hear you
Can
guys
you-
now.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah. Now I'm good. I don't know what happened there.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
I guess that's.
Should we look over our FPL or?
I mean, FPL. All I'll say is, let's not rather jump into it because then it'll become a long-awaited episode. All I'll say is, don't try and play your chips over these fixtures. If
Yeah,
you
I don't
want,
think it makes sense.
don't
Yeah, it
don't
doesn't make sense at all. Right?
don't make changes to your defense or your goalkeepers. None of them are worth it. If you want, probably pull in like some mid-priced attackers. I would say look at someone at Leeds. I think if you don't have Rafinha, now would be a good time to get him because I feel there's
He's been consistent.
he's good. Get Arsenal. I would say look at Martinelli and look at Saka as
Saka.
options. Lacazette is
Martin.
great if you can afford him as striker.
Martin, Odegaard.
Yeah, Odegaard, I don't know. It's more of a deep
Yeah,
line
he-
playmaker, so I
yeah.
can't really tell. I guess that should be that.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, a lot of injuries also. So better not to make any
Yeah,
changes.
exactly. So just rather not.
What are
I
your thoughts on
guess-
Salah on his injury?
What?
If you've heard it, if you've heard
Yeah, but I
anything?
think I honestly don't think he's going to come back before game week 31. If I'm being perfectly honest, because
You think he's out this week?
he's out. I don't think he's going to play the cup. I think Egypt have two qualifiers, so once the international break kicks in.
But don't they have another game to play this week?
They play. I think they play Arsenal, right?
Right, Arsenal. Yeah. Do you think he'll play
So-
that game?
I feel he might play that game, but then after that he's gone for a while.
Hmm.
He'll
Yeah,
probably
I
come
might
back for
triple
Man City
captain
away.
this week.
Man City away.
Yeah, I have him as my triple captain this week.
Hopefully that works out for you. We'll
Yeah.
jump back on it sometime next week and discuss.
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Cool.
Anyway, that's been us. It's been nice to see you everyone again. Next time I do this, I'll be back home, so we should be able to resume normal service. Until then, see you. Take care.
See you. Cheers.
Take care. Cheers.
Bye.
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 Bye.